Alright, we are back with another breakdown, and in today's video we are doing DaShawn Hand. Okay, so you guys really seem to like these breakdowns, so I like really doing them because I get to learn a lot about players that I didn't know a lot about. Like, we knew they were on the Detroit Lions, but we didn't know into detail what they went through, how good they were in college, any of that really specifically. So I really like doing this series. I did it on my old channel. You guys seem to like it over here as well. So just keep letting me know in the comments below players you want me to talk about. I have a couple more in mind from you guys, so that's great. This is one that I was suggested as well. So let's get right into it. DaShawn Hand. So going back into his early years when he was in high school, Hand actually had an uncle who was an All-American running back. So DaShawn Hand came from a family that was very, very athletic. This family was really good at sports, and DaShawn Hand was not only good at football in high school, but he was good at multiple sports. He was a star player in 3 sports in high school: track and field, wrestling, and football. He was great at all 3 of those. He went to Woodbridge High School, where he was an all-state defensive lineman. So like I said, coming out of high school, he was one of the top recruits in the nation. Rivals ranked him one of the best recruits coming out of high school, and not only was he great at football, he was great at wrestling, where he was a regional champion. Like I said, he was a top high school recruit, and he decided to go to Alabama, and maybe not for reasons that you would think. Obviously, Alabama is an amazing football school. You go to Alabama, there's a really good chance you're going to end up in the NFL. But he went there for civil engineering. That's really why he went there. Even though he was one of the top high school prospects, he went there for civil engineering. Either way, though, he ended up with the Detroit Lions. So now, going into college, high expectations for DaShawn Hand. He was outstanding in high school. He's expected to be great just like his uncle was. So now going into Alabama, where obviously it's really tough to find playing time because there's already so many talented players there. He had DaShawn Hand's college career. It wasn't super awesome, okay? It didn't go the way as planned. He was expected to be outstanding in college. That's not really how it played out. It wasn't because DaShawn Hand had to deal with tons of injuries. He had to deal with one here, and that was like a minor knee injury. There's multiple ways they explain this injury. But either way, the problem was he lacked the same production that he had in high school. I'll go through his stats here, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. Back in 2014, his freshman season, he played in 6 games where he had 7 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. Not bad as a freshman. I mean, only playing in 6 games and having 2 sacks is not terrible. But then in the sophomore season, he played in 8 games where he had 16 total tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, which is a lot better than 3 sacks. You can see he always had a thing for getting back in the backfield. Problem was, it wasn't there consistently. Then as a junior, 2016, 10 games, you would think this is where he would take his jump because a lot of players do. Well, not really for DaShawn Hand. He only had 21 total tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. Not a great year for DaShawn Hand. Then as a senior, trying to end it off well, in 2017, he played in 10 games where he had 27 total tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. So you can see throughout his college career, wasn't very consistent. The lack of productivity that he showed in high school never lived up to his potential coming out of high school. We thought he was going to be great at Alabama, never really lived up to that. So with that being said, he fell down the draft board significantly. So pre-draft, he was a 6'4", 297-pound lineman that ran a 40-yard dash and a 4.83. His bench press was 28 reps, which is ridiculous. And his vertical was 31.5 inches. So a solid athlete, 4.83 to weigh 300 pounds. I don't know, but to me that's insane. Like 40 or dash, like 4.83 doesn't seem fast, but when you try to run a 40, that's really fast when you're 300 pounds. So I got to give him credit where credit is due there. DaShawn Hand, like I said, didn't have that same productivity in college that we were expecting. So with that being said, fell down the draft board, and he fell to the 4th round where the Detroit Lions selected him pick number 114, which actually worked out perfectly for the Detroit Lions because we knew he had the potential. The problem was he just didn't show in college. So that being said, he fell down the draft board, and the Detroit Lions were able to get their hands on this player. And this is why Bob Quinn probably made this move. He knew that he had potential, he just didn't live up to it. So with this first season with the Detroit Lions, you can see this was probably better than any year he had in college. In 2018, he played in 13 games with the Detroit Lions. He started 8 of those games. He had 27 total tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, and 2 quarterback hits. So you can see he was getting to the backfield. As we know, DaShawn Hand was great in his rookie season. He really came out of nowhere. And we were like, wait a minute, this is a 4th round pick? And a lot of people were super excited for DaShawn Hand. They are now, because now we see, hey, DaShawn Hand's a really good player. It's a 4th round pick. It was a great pick by Bob Quinn, and now learning about his potential in high school that I have in this, I know that this guy can be great and he can keep getting better. Problem was he just didn't show it in college, so actually that may have been a blessing in disguise for the Detroit Lions because he ended up with the Lions because he didn't play so great in college. If he would have lived up to his potential, he easily would have been a 1st round pick. But since he didn't, he ended up with the Detroit Lions, and it's perfect. Now, he did end up on IR in 2018, December 18th, 2018. The Detroit Lions had to place him on IR, so that's super unfortunate. But the some that we did see from DaShawn Hand with the Detroit Lions was great. He was a really surprising player for 2018 with the Detroit Lions, and we have a lot of high expectations for him in 2019. He's very important to this defensive rotation. Now, our defensive line looks great. We still have plenty of guys. But DaShawn Hand is one of those young guys. Like we say, we are not only very talented on the defensive line, we have a lot of young guys as well. DaShawn Hand is one of those guys. I'm super excited to see what he can do this 2019, and hopefully he can keep improving and get healthy. Because what we've seen so far from DaShawn Hand is some inconsistency, but we know he has that ability to be great. So let me know in the comments below another player you want me to break down. I'll happily do it at some point. I just can't get to all of them at once. So sometimes you'll have to wait a little bit on them, but just keep reminding me. If there's someone that you really want to see, keep reminding me. And if someone else comments something that you want to see, like a player, like that comment. That way I can see it more and I can see, okay, more people wanted this comment. Anyways, thank you, Pride, for watching. Make sure you click the link in the description, get yourself a Dose of Dion shirt, and also make sure to follow me on Twitter at DoseOfDion 2.0, and I'm out.